She is a Les Brown Gold certified coach, speaker, trainer, and the first founding member from India to join the Les Brown Unlimited team. She was also chosen by the Les Brown Institute to be their first international ambassador. She has been selected consecutively to go live with Les Brown on stage, being one of the top few from all across the world. She has been invited rapidly as a special guest to go on the air live and join Les Brown for his Monday Motivational Hour show. She has translated a passage titled The Hardwood Creed in Hindi for John Leslie Brown's best-selling and award-winning book, The Hardwood Effect. Neither was born in a remote village, now being deprived of even touching books to read and write. For 13 years held her back from living her dreams. She stands tall, focused and committed in all her enterprises. A serial entrepreneur, an international best-selling author, a fighter by faith, and a breakthrough expert spreading the message of love and hope and what the possibilities are when you bring them into your life and work culture. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome on our show, Shradha WTB.
Thank you, Farookh. Namaste.
Namaste.
This is Shradha, and I have yet to hear such a beautiful introduction. Only you could have done that. And when men like you respect us women and shower us with love, it really, really, really elates us. Thank you very much, Faroukh. And I'm very glad to be here with you.
Thank you very much, Shradha. Thanks a lot. And let me tell you, you are the first Indian I'm going to interview. I never interviewed anybody, and you are, in this particular series that I'm talking about, you are the first Indian to come in this series. Shradha, thanks a lot for taking time and coming for the show. Shradha, what's the meaning of it? Let's start from there.
Shradha means faith.
Okay.
Shradha means faith, Faroukh.
Mm-hmm.
And I have lived my entire life on faith. Ever since I was born in a remote village in the bylanes of Bihar,
Mm-hmm.
a few kilometers from Patna.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sent to a boarding school at the age of 4, education. And even after that, when I got married and all the challenges that I faced in my life, I have seen that I have overcome only when I had that faith in me. So later on, when I reflect and when I introspect, I realize that if it has been anything that has got me this far, it has been my faith. And Shradha means faith.
Wow. And I know from you, because I know you very well, there were a lot of ups and downs in your life. And today you stand in a leadership position where you change the life of people around the world, not only in India, because around the world, because you have been the founder, member of Les Brown Unlimited team, etc. We're going to speak about that. Tell me, how did you have the courage to go forward, step forward into the life of people and give them that sort of empowerment to change them, not only female, but even male around the world? How did you do that? Where did you get this courage from?
If you ask me where, then I think it is all within you. And the day I decided that, yes, I need to stand up within myself. And since I was isolated and was living like a dead soul in a moving body for more than 2 decades, the day I did decide that, yes, I have to stand up within myself, that courage that empowered me needed to be, shared with others. And that's when I began to, be invited by banks and corporates for speeches. And then I realized that, yes, just by saying a few words, I could actually impact lives. And that's when I began to share all the energy and the awakening within me with the world and with the people that I came across. So it was beautiful to see the smiles across people's faces when I began to share my thoughts and my ideas and share the courage that was developing within me.
Could you share one story in your life where you changed somebody and they came back and said, Shradha, you really changed my life?
If you really ask me, then one person I think would be, that I would really like to mention would be Kunal Tholia.
Mm-hmm.
He works in Axis Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And when Axis Bank had called me for a speech over there, I remember him, when they called me back the third time, he getting up and saying that, ma'am, when you come here, we are all charged up, but when you leave, everything fizzles out. And what should I do?
Mm-hmm.
And then I began this Facebook account. And in fact, Facebook gave me my name, Shradha WTB, because it did not accept me without a last name.
Mm-hmm.
And there I began to post certain thoughts, because today everybody is in a rush and they don't have time to read. So I began to put my thoughts in just 4 lines and began to post them on Facebook, because I thought that if I do something, publicly, then maybe he could also be helped, and others who are reading it could also be helped. And you won't believe that that boy, for many months, he was the only person who was liking those posts that I was posting.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually this book, it became a book, Mr. S. Brown, the world's leading motivational speaker in the world, to make a collection of those thoughts that were inspired by Kunal Tholia. And it has become an international bestseller all across Amazon and all 18 stores across the world. So it's not only about inspiring and changing a life, it's always a mutual thing, because as we say that you help others achieve their dreams, and you will achieve yours. So when I helped this boy, this Kunal Tholia, achieve his dream, he in turn gifted me my book.
Wow. And after joining the Les Brown Institute, but today they have changed the name as Les Brown Unlimited Team. Am I right? So how difference did it make in your life?
It gave me all the endorsement that I needed to believe in the goodness that prevails too in this world, Farookh. If I have to say anything, though I was going through my own challenges and upheavals in my life, but we always grow up with a certain notion in childhood.
Yep.
When I spent my childhood in the mountains in Darjeeling, I was studying in a school there, in a boarding school in Kalimpong in the district of Darjeeling. So I had grown up with books being my best friend. So having those, fairy tale stories and believing in love, companionship, honesty, integrity, all these things were taught to us then, being honest, standing up for your friend. And when I did not have any of that in my life, when I got married and, I was living that kind of abusive life in Mumbai, I was really, looking for answers all around that. Is this all a hoax, or is there some truth in it? When I joined the Les Brown Unlimited team, they endorsed the fact, because I didn't have a visa. Over Christmas, my visa came in by Mr. Les Brown. He had sent me an invitation letter. And then when I reached there, and the members and the faculty, our CEO, Matt Warren, at that time CEO, and the whole entire team, the way they welcomed me, embraced me, and showered love on me, give me the respect that I had always yearned and starved for, made me believe that there is goodness that prevails too. Even though you're going through hard times, because life happens to everybody, but do not ever give up your belief in goodness that prevails, because there is good in the world too. And that's what they gave me when I joined the Les Brown Unlimited team.
You are now an international coach. You do a lot of coaching, especially executive coaching. You do life coaching or transformational coaching. You go for results coaching, success coaching. You do a lot of different coaching. And along with that, you are very active on Facebook every other day. And then you have your own book. How do you find time for all this?
It's just about your focus, Farookh. What is it that you want? And when you direct your energies to what you want and save your energy from what you don't want. So when I read my first book, when I got into this awakening, after my defining moment, because I had been stopped from reading and writing for a big, long 2 decades. And when I picked up my first book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, in it I read that whenever my attention wanders away from that which is good and constructive, I will immediately bring it back to the contemplation of that which is lovely and of good report. And when I began to direct my energies in my direction and what I wanted to do, that's when productivity began. And today, when you ask me, how do I remove the time? We all have 24 hours. It's all about your priority and productivity. So when you know exactly what you want, and that is when you achieve what you want. The first thing is that you have to have clarity on what you want.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. You have gone through very tough time in your life, and there are a lot of family members today in India who are going exactly through what you had gone earlier in your life. How are you planning to create your own society or organization to help those type of people, especially in India where you come from?
Yes, Witness the Breakthrough is what I intend to keep taking forward as and how much I can contribute. And I would like people to join Witness the Breakthrough because it's all about the awareness that needs to be created. There is so much of data all around. Like they say that the biggest resource that is available today is not money, but it's data. So how do you retain that knowledge that is there around you? And when you create that self-awareness and develop those skill sets to, create that self-awareness and enhance your skill sets, because there is data, there is knowledge all around, but there is no skill set to make decisions. So that's, how I am going to encourage people and coach them to develop those skill sets and develop healthier habits, bring about a change in their overall behavior, and get them to experience their breakthrough. So yes, I am on my journey, Dr. Sensei, and let us see. I believe that those who help, God helps those who help themselves. So today I do not feel alone. I feel that yes, God is guiding me and showing me the path to righteousness, because I have taken a very, a daring stance, I must say, for my community, like you said, in India. And I know that there are many, many, not only women, but even men who are suffering, who have entered arranged marriages like just I did, and who went into it with a lot of belief and faith, but all of that was trampled upon. And finally, when I did gather the courage, I do understand that many people need to be told that, yes, you do not need to be a part of all this, irrelevant torture that we are going through mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So I really look forward to the participation of people who are following me, who are, they can also download the book from Amazon and become a part of this movement called Witness the Breakthrough.
You have been blessed in many ways. Let's take off all those negative things, and you've been blessed in many ways. What are the 5 things that you feel that you are really blessed today?
First blessing, I think, is my parents. I feel that especially in the Indian community, the parents would be the first people who would object to any bold stance if you take that. And the kind of decisions that I have taken in my life, my parents have been very supportive. Initially, they kept quiet because they saw me going through all the turmoil. But when I gathered the courage to stand up and fight, they have stood rock solid with me. So I think my first blessing would be my parents, to have parents like mine who are with me irrespective and come what may. So that is the first blessing. Second blessing, I think, is that I have is of accountability partners like you, Farookh. I think, wherein you people have my back. And ever since I have joined the Les Brown Unlimited team and have got exposure to the world, members like you of the Les Brown team and others have reached out to me. I would like to mention a few people who are not on the Les Brown team, like Shah Khan from Gold Cast. Now, these people are always checking on me, asking me, and encouraging me to keep doing what I'm doing. So even though I do notice that even though I'm not getting as many likes or shares on Facebook, but the views are much, much more, because when I meet those people, they come up to me and tell me, your Facebook Live really helped me think in a different perspective. So I think that is my second blessing, wherein I get a lot of encouragement from all across the world today. So that is my second blessing. Then the third thing, if you ask me, would be, I think, that I am got back to reading and writing, Faroukh. And that was my first love. Being away from my parents at the age of 4, I think I only had books that I could count on. And now being able to read and write and go back to books is my third blessing. And then if you ask me, I think my friends, I'm back to my childhood friends who have been with me, who always believe that I deserve more. And like I share my pictures on Facebook, when they would see me in that obese state and in that lost, even though I have a smile, if you see those pictures, but that smile was never in sync with my eyes. My heart was never smiling. So those friends would always encourage me to get in sync with my core. And today, when I meet them with this smile and with this connectivity, I think they are genuinely very happy for me. So I'm very blessed with good friends, and they have been very supportive. So that would be the fourth blessing. And the fifth blessing, I think, would be this consciousness to help people all across the world, Faroukh.
Wow.
I think if I wouldn't have had that awareness that yes, if I can do it, and if I can help people understand that yes, if someone like me could stand up and face the society and the community and do something that nobody has ever done, like this say that go not where the path leads, go where there is no path and leave a trail behind. So I have actually taken that stance, and to have that consciousness that yes, when you leave the trail behind, you can actually have a whole, a generation, a whole legacy follow the footsteps that you have actually created. So I think that consciousness is also a very big blessing for me today, that yes, I have something in me that I can actually share with the world and help people get over their suffering.
Excellent. You use the word clarity, and clarity is a really strong word. Whether you're a leader, you need to have that sort of clarity, what we call as vision. And you were able, you had the clarity to identify where you are, and you also were able to identify your blessings. When I asked you this question, this is not a prepared interview. I just asked you, and you gave me the 5 blessings. And there are a lot of people, Shradha, today in the world who do not identify their blessings. What would you tell them?
If we know exactly, there are only 3 questions for clarity. Where are you coming from? Where are you today? And where do you want to go? If you have the answer for these 3 questions, there is no reason why you shouldn't have clarity. I would request the entire world and all your viewers who are watching me today, that if you ask yourself these 3 questions, whenever you're in a situation, where are you? Where are you coming from? And where would you like to go? Then I think there should be no reason why you cannot take a decision, because that will give you the answers for exactly what you want to achieve.
Today you speak like an iron lady. Who do you consider yourself as your role model?
Rani Lakshmibai. Because whenever I have stood up, even though I was suppressed and isolated for many, many years, but whenever there was a challenge, then that I roared like a lion. And I can remember many instances, you know my story. So whenever I did roar like a lion, I remember a High Court judge remarking after I won my case that "Khoob ladi mardani, wo to Jhansi wali rani thi." So I feel very proud. It gives me courage when I have that sense of, conviction to fight for what is right. And I think for me, my role model would be Jhansi ki Rani, Rani Lakshmibai.
Wow, that was a very positive note. Is there any questions that you would like to ask the audience so that they can ponder on your question, which would lead them to clarity and make them a better leader? What would that 3 powerful question that you would ask them to ponder?
The first question would be, if there was no fear, what would you say yes to? If there was no fear, what would you say yes to? That's the first question. The second question would be, Which animal or bird can you relate yourself to, and why? Which animal or bird can you relate yourself to, and why? And the third question would be, if you were given a moment to spend the way you would wish to, what would that be? If you were given a moment to spend the way you wish to, what would that be? I would want to ask my viewers and your audience these three questions.
If I flip the plate now, and if I ask you question number 2, what would be your answer about the bird or the animal? I'll just flip the question back to you.
I think if you ask me, I would be a leopard, because a leopard leaps. And I think I'm a person that if you can test my patience, but once you cross that line, then I can leap and attack. Then I will not sit back. I will keep tolerating. I have a very, 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 in fact, I ask myself at times, how tolerant can I be? But I do have that, and that's a good quality as well. As my mother says, that tum bahut sehnsheel ho. So I feel that that is my strength. But if you cross the line, and once I make up my mind, then I become a Taurian, the bull, and the bull with a leopard's body, and then I take the lead. So I think I would, sum it up to being the leopard.
Thank you very much, Shradha. It was a pleasure and honor having you on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, Shradha.
Yes. So before we go, Farookh, since you're my coach, I would like the world to know that Dr. Farookh has been coaching me and is also a very, very big part of my journey. So today, in front of you, I would like to ask him a question, and let's see what he has to answer. As he has been spontaneously asking us questions and interviewing me, I have a question for you, Dr. Farookh. Are you ready?
Sure. You're putting you're putting me in the blind spot now. Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, Dr. Farookh. So please share with us that one thing that you feel is very necessary to remain intact with the person that you are. That one thing that makes you stay intact.
I would say the purpose in life. If you know exactly why you are here, then you will remain what you are. You will never bother about what's happening around you or in the world, nothing. Make sure that you very clear, there again, I would take the word clarity, consistency, competency, and compassion. That's what I would focus on all the C's. And I would focus on why am I here? The whole question is that the purpose in life. And for me, I have a very, very clear purpose. I know with whom I have to join, with whom I have to go, what type of people I have to mingle, what are the books that I have to read, what are the TV channels I have to watch. Everything is based on my purpose. If you know what your purpose is, automatically you can live the life that you want to live rather than the life taking you where the life takes you. You create your journey, you create the path and leave the path for somebody else. Yeah, just like John Maxwell said, the leaders, they know the way, they go the way, and they show the way. So now I know where I want to go. I am going through there, and I'm showing that to my team, like you.
To be here on this platform with you. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot to you.